Hi, everyone. Welcome back. And here we are for our forecast time of the month. We are looking into February of 2026. And what do we have coming up for us this month? I just can say right now, and I know the family will understand with us today, January has been the longest 5 years I've ever spent.
Oh my gosh. And we're still in it. We still have a
And
couple more days.
we're still here.
We
Oh my
survived
gosh.
though. We survived more than other people have. But yes, we've
Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately, some have
Yeah.
not survived, and it's been such a it's a it's been a challenging month,
Yeah.
but we're here. We did have some positive things through January, some really challenging things.
Yeah.
Again, if we can hold on that we are moving towards something good,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're pushing through.
Yeah.
So if we can hold on to that, we just keep on going on.
Yeah. It's sending prayers for folks that are still moving through the storms. Sending
Oh,
prayers for
the
those
storms.
that are protesting in Minnesota, as well as other places, especially those that are impacted. Sending prayers to both, Renee Good and her family, and Alex Preddy's family. It's just such a interesting, trying times, but also I'm seeing so much community. We in the middle of that storm, people went out and protest. Like I think it was thousands in Minneapolis. My friends and community were texting each other, asking, "What can we do? Who do we call? Which Congress people do we call?" And I've heard that the Republican Congress folks, their phones are, if you try to call them, they just go straight to voicemail full.
Voicemail full. That is good to
So,
hear.
yeah, they are getting inundated right now. But we're also seeing some shifts with Congress as well. We're seeing Tillerson yesterday. Folks, were recording this Wednesday, January 28th, and yesterday, Senator, I think Senator, I don't think he's a House representative. He was speaking about how Nome needs to go. And what's happening in Minnesota is not okay. And also, Senator, just Republicans as a whole, being able to say what happened to Alex was a murder, was not
Oh, 100%.
anything
Right.
else.
And
Yeah.
you can't deny that. You see the video and
Ugh. I
I
wish I did
I'm
not see the video.
I'm so sorry, everyone,
Yeah.
that we are seeing this traumatic violence right in front of our face. It's one thing watching a movie because you can separate yourself, but this is
I
real.
know, I know.
And it is very traumatic, so please take care of yourself as you see
Yeah.
these things play out, but that's our life right now, and we can't hide from it either,
Yeah, I
but we
know.
can support each other through it,
Yeah.
and when this is all said and done, we're gonna do a lot of taking care of each other through the moving through this trauma, and you can
Yeah.
think of all the different age groups experiencing this.
Yeah.
And you have to think about all these kids who are also on the ground experiencing this as their parent is being taken away, and they're being,
ICE raids, yeah,
all the
and the
outrage.
children, I
Yeah.
think that came up since Renee Good, is murder to now. Before Alex's was just the young children, the one-year-old, there's the little kid with the green, the little Lilo and Stitch hat. It was like a
Yeah,
five-year-old boy with a
five-year-old.
Lilo and Stitch hat, and he was being used as bait to get his dad to come home, and I believe both of them were deported. And
So
so
what played out, from my understanding, is he and the dad had gone to the grocery store, and they had just pulled up in the driveway, and ICE hit the driveway, snagged the dad, and was holding the boy for the mom and the other family members to come out of the house.
oh, that's what the bait part was, okay.
Yes. So the mom, she started to come out and then went back in
Oh,
and,
because they don't have a warrant to go into the property. Oh my
inside the
god.
house. So they took the boy and the dad, and the boy is still in custody.
Yeah.
A judge yesterday put a motion up that they cannot deport the little boy.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
But
I mean, I
not
wanna
that
chaperone it
not that any of them listen to any type of judgment.
Oh, that's right, that's right. The Trump
But
administration
so
doesn't always
far,
listen to
that's kind of
rulings.
where
Yeah,
that's at. So you
yeah,
guys, all your light and love and prayers, whatever
yeah,
you do, light the
yeah.
candles for that little boy and so many other, he's representative of other
I know.
children as well. He's just one we
He's like
know
one that we
about.
know of. Yeah, it's very yeah, and folks check in with each other, send texts like, "Are you how are you doing? Are you okay?" That's what's happening in
Mhm.
my group. We're just really checking in and just saying, because a lot of the times, and you're familiar with this, Deb, and the work that you've done previously of like when we're seeing these, we're in a trauma state. It's
You're in a trauma
traumatic,
state.
and we can be in a state of freeze. But it's not till you do an action, whether you call a congressperson, whether you check in with other people and talk to it, that you can get out of that trauma, high, is a sympathetic state. Yeah. And then you can move into a parasympathetic state. So you can move out of fight or flight and move into a state where it's less stressful. And so, folks, if you're
Yeah.
consuming so much news or you're watching, you're going to be in likely a freeze state. And so, doing something like going out for a walk or calling a congressperson will help you move that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, check in with
Yeah.
community. It's a very trying times that we're in. Especially that was just January. that was
Yeah,
just
that was literally
that
the
was just
longest 5
January.
years.
It's
Aw,
interesting.
I have, some deer coming in the backyard here.
Aw, I like that. I like that when nature just interrupts your everyday like that.
I just love it. There's a bunch of them.
Very kind of brings in the serenity of the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so folks, we're gonna get into February's energies. Before we do, we're just gonna check in a little bit about just the news of the day and what, especially what Deb sees. Because Deb, I'm curious, what do you see? How do you see Minnesota unfolding? Waltz and Trump had a really good conversation yesterday. They were a lot more amenable towards each other. The tone was very just friendly, I'll just say. And but at the same time, I'm hearing on both sides of, well, we need your voter rolls, if you want to completely de-escalate. And we're hearing that Nome is out of Minnesota. She's put in other places. Tom Homan, he looks like a poor man's Tom Colicchio, if the folks that are familiar with the Celebrity Chef. And Tom Homan is there. Bovino's out. Bovino was the one. Nome and Bovino were the ones over the weekend doing the press tour saying that Alex had brought it on himself. And so both of these talking heads are out. We have Tom Homan, and I think Tellison was asking for Nome to be impeached. A lot of Congress people are asking Nome to be impeached. But then I think in the past 24 hours, Nome has been pointing the finger more towards Stephen Miller. And Stephen Miller publicly made a statement saying, oh, actually, Alex wasn't in the wrong. And so, because Stephen Miller is the architect behind this whole ICE immigration, to the best of my knowledge, folks,
Yeah.
I don't know. And so, I'm curious, Deb, if you want to pull cards or share your hits about either how you see Minnesota unfolding. Do you see Nome out? Do you see Stephen Miller out? Like, what do you see happening there?
Okay, so your depiction of how it all has played out is brilliant and right on, and it's infighting back and forth because Noam came out yesterday saying, I'm just following the directions of Trump and Stephen Miller. And so, and that's just also a play out of playbook from 1940, where you're not going to try not to take the blame for your actions.
Yeah, they're gonna pin it. They need a fall guy. Yeah, or girl. Fall
And
person.
she sees it. She sees that she's going to be the fall girl. My sense with her is that she will be leaving as this continues to escalate, especially because she tried to throw them both under the bus by putting the blame on them. That was
Like a
her
greater
move.
opponent
I'm
of
not
it
sure
all.
it was a good move for her, We're happy
Even
about it.
Tillerson blames her too, so it's not just a White House versus,
Yeah.
interesting, okay.
They already have someone, I see someone already, in the ranks that will just step in.
Mm,
So I don't, we won't have to look at her anymore, but we have someone else to look at.
okay.
And Stephen Miller, I don't see him being leaving yet.
Okay.
But I feel like she will be. And I feel like with that Bovino guy or whatever his name is, who was sent back to El Centro. And if you guys have ever, it's uh, uh, people are great there, loving the little town, but it is a town in the middle of the desert on the border. So
Oh,
he's been
okay, so
sent
they
to
deal with
that
a lot of border security
border
type.
stuff there, but now he's been out in public now. Like
Mhm.
people knew that he was probably, border patrol, but now
You can he's a
his
celebrity.
brutality, he's
Yeah,
a celebrity now.
he's a celebrity.
And
He can't go to the
his,
grocery store. He can't unless he gets some sort of mask, nose prosthetic or something like that.
yeah,
Can I ask a question about Bovino? So he was wearing this jacket, this wool jacket in Minnesota that folks kept saying it looks a lot like an SSS officer.
100%. He
Can
was
you pull
trying.
cards if that was deliberate or not? Or
I
what is your hit?
I truly believe it was deliberate, but
'Cause he had
because
patches right here,
when I
and
saw
he
him
could
do
put
that, but we'll
patches.
throw cards for
Okay, yeah,
fun.
throw
But
cards on it. I think
for
Jon
fun I
Stewart
will. But I
made a
can tell
joke.
you right now, he was because he was also doing the what is that called? Where you throw your arm up like High
Oh, the
Hitler.
salute. He was doing gestures of the salute. Oh, I didn't know that. I just know his clothing was, very similar, and then Jon Stewart made a joke about dressing for the job you want.
That's hilarious.
I
Exactly.
know.
I mean,
So, yeah, can you pull
you,
cards on that? So, folks, if you look
yeah.
at just Google it. Just Google John Bovino, SSS officer jacket, and you'll see a lot of things that they'll do on the internet where they'll show the comparison because the patches is the thing that really cements the look.
Hmm.
I
Well,
mean, it could be a coincidence, but
yeah, yeah. So
they're all doing dog whistling of so many sorts,
I
like
have all yes cards here. He truly was connecting into, and it's funny because in that Three of Cups card, you see their hands all up, but not that that's what they're doing. But
yeah, yeah.
again,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
all yes card. He's very connected. That's with his whole heart.
Yeah.
All
That's his
yes
dog
card.
whistling. It's his okay, that's for people to kind of yeah, because even with, Elon Musk, he did the salute twice, like, I think
Yeah,
almost a
and
year
then
ago.
they tried to say, "Oh, he
No.
whatever." We all saw it. They try to tell us we don't see what we see.
I know, I know.
That's also
So
that's
strange.
straight out of 1984.
Okay, so astrologically, it looks like it doesn't look like Trump will pull the forces out of Minneapolis. It looks like we're gonna be in this thing for probably till February 20th. There's a big February 17th, 20th. There seems to be some pivot there. Do you see Trump and Waltz making a deal in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, or do you see it's gonna be drawn out where ICE won't be removed out of Minnesota?
Okay. I don't feel a backing down because
That's what I don't feel either.
I don't feel a backing down.
I don't feel backing down either. 'Cause, it's interesting, a lot of
I keep seeing in my mind's eye, I keep seeing the 7 of Swords, and that's just trickery. Like,
mhm.
I'm gonna pretend this, but, it's
A lot of Trump's base do not wanna see, Trump capitulating, here, because this was their big platform. You know how, he was talking about Epstein files, and he was talking about border, and so if they see him capitulate here, that's their framing, not mine, folks, they won't see Trump as he basically has no cards left. He's kind of betrayed them in so many different ways.
yeah, I don't see them moving out. And I feel like Walls is not happy with
Yeah.
the outcome here. And I still see them trying to hold their ground there. You have that power and control, that King of
Wow.
Swords coming in, offer, that authority and like showing that authority is still there.
Yeah.
So whatever 45 is saying, I don't feel him sticking to it.
Okay. So
You know what I mean? It's all gaslighting.
yeah, can I just it's just the talk of like, of course, I'll do that. I'll do that. I think the term is called future faking when you fake that you're going to do something and just to string someone
Future
along.
faking, there you go.
Yeah, future
And
faking.
yeah, and I feel like he's also trying to calm the people down with his
Mhm.
rhetoric. He's trying to, because what happened, it was too much. Their authoritarian takeover was too much too soon.
Mhm.
As a if you want to be a fascist, well, they are a fascist government
Yeah.
for entertainment purposes only, whatever. But if you're going by the playbook, you may have an incident, and we lost Renee Good,
Mhm.
right? This next incident happened too soon, and the people are like, so we all as a nation reacted very strongly to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the playbook, generally, a leader of a fascist regime or whatever, they'll do something like that, like with
Mm.
Renee Good,
Yeah.
and then they throw some peace at you. It's like a true
Yeah, no, it's the
abusive
yeah,
relationship,
it's
right?
like yeah, I was gonna say it's the frog in the pot. You don't if you put the frog in the hot boiling pot,
Yeah,
it will jump out, but if you put the in regular water and then slowly turn up the heat, the frog will acclimate and not realize
right.
it's boiling to
So
death. So, yeah.
exactly, and so what happened was they went too fast, too soon.
Yeah, agreed.
And,
Agreed.
so now they're trying to back down the water heat
Yeah.
with their rhetoric
Yeah.
and all, "Look what we're doing. We're taking out the people who were in charge and putting the new people in, so it's gonna be okay,"
Yeah.
which it's not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah,
But I
that
do
makes
feel that
sense.
they're not leaving, and maybe even starting up, starting,
Another
flare
initiative?
up in other places.
Okay. Okay, or maybe focus on another city.
Philadelphia,
Okay.
Denver,
Interesting.
some other places.
Yeah, because this is kind of like the last one of the strongest cards they have in their deck for their mega base is immigration, because they're not winning on the economy, they're not winning with foreign policy, they're not America first, they, really didn't have any plays, I would say, for gender, like, in terms of because that was mostly done, from Biden's, and so, um, if they fold on here on this immigration, then it's kind of like they have no more cards, and so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Doing a pivot, because I think I love for you to kind of read on Trump and Trump's, but I probably Trump's February when we get to February's astrology. But doing a pivot yesterday, Senator and not Congresswoman Omar was doing, I believe, a town hall in Minnesota. I think it was yeah, I think it was Minnesota, and a man walked up to her and had a syringe of some substance and squirted the substance on her. But the articles just say unknown substance, which I can't even. Goodness gracious, I'm such a germ freak. If someone squirted something random,
Oh
I
my
would
gosh.
freak out.
Oh my gosh. I'd be like, take me to the ER immediately. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
run all the
But
tests.
run all the tests.
Run all
But did
the
you see her? She went at him.
I
She's
know,
like,
I know, she's got such a strength, like, "This is all you got," kind of,
love.
yeah.
I didn't know I could love her even more. I
I
mean,
know, I know.
she's like, went towards him.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's interesting because I saw the video several
Mhm.
times,
Yeah.
and my initial hit, without trying to think, it wasn't like I was thinking, what was that? It was just that initial hit,
Mhm.
that came in when I was watching the
Yeah.
first time, and I'm like, I thought pee.
That's what I thought. I thought it was just urine. I thought
And
it was urine.
so,
Yeah.
and I thought that's disgusting.
That's yeah.
But then, as your other mind comes into play,
Yeah.
your thinking mind, I'm like, oh my God, it could have been acid. It could have been all these things,
I know.
um,
Could have been some
but
bacteria, virusy thing, kind of
yeah,
like.
like a virus of some
Yeah.
sort, all those things. But that initial hit was pee. So it would be interesting to see.
It was yellow. The syringe was yellow.
Oh, okay. I didn't
So
see that part. I mean,
okay. Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking on
what I
my
thought
phone.
too. Do you wanna pull the cards or yes or no if it was
Yeah,
just
we'll do it yes or no. We're gonna do both. So just for fun, you guys.
okay.
And so we're gonna ask, was this substance urine? And I'm getting a strong yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it
So
too.
that
It's
up and
great.
down for me is
Very,
yes.
very
So,
strong. Yeah.
and
I mean,
so we'll
sometimes
throw.
it's Occam's razor. The simplest solution is sometimes the solution, and it just makes sense. It would be, because that's an offensive thing to pee on someone, like
It is.
yeah, so
And that fear, putting that fear in someone, like you and I would have been like freaking out.
yeah.
She just went at him, like she wasn't having it. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I know.
Her reaction.
It's interesting, the women of I Had It podcast, I don't know if you're familiar with it. They're just two women
Oh,
from
I love
Oklahoma.
I haven't watched in the last couple of days, but I love them. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
guys,
love
if
them.
you haven't seen them.
Yeah, they did a really good job of describing the fecklessness, the spinelessness of our existing Democratic leadership of Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, and basically they made a comment of like, watch who the GOP go after, because they're not going after they're going after Omar because she's actually fighting against it. They're not going after Schumer. They're not going after Jeffries, and you can see who are the people that are fighting for the Dems are the ones that, the GOP gun or the MAGA gun is kind of pointed at. And so
Right.
Omar, she's been through it because she knows she's advocating and fighting for these kind of, points of view.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have all yes cards for that. So
Okay.
all yes.
So folks, right now they have not released what the substance was, and I don't know if they will. But yeah, this is for recording this morning, January 28th. So we were curious about it.
You can let us know.
Yeah. And I'll have you pull cards on Trump's February when I get into February's astrology, but the polls the past 24 hours, the numbers are not good for Trump. So folks, if you're not familiar with the ratings of Trump recently, he had a bump with Venezuela. So his MAGA base was really drawn to him in Venezuela when he took the leader. And then when he had the Renee Good shooting and the Greenland talks, his base went cratered. And then he kind of walked that back. And then we're seeing the ratings now after Alex Preddy's murder. He's at his lowest point in this administration.
Yeah,
and
negative 37, right?
Yeah, 37. Yeah. And it's interesting too with this time around. Not only is he really low public opinion wise, he's the lowest too for independent voters. So
Okay.
those are the voters that he needs in terms of swinging around. So yesterday he was in Iowa, I think, doing a campaign stop. And I remember in his first term, because I read a lot of books about behind the scenes on his first term, that they would send him on a campaign trail when they wanted him kind of get out of the way, like they wanted to give him busy work. And so when he was on the Iowa campaign trail and he kind of meandered and what is it called, the sway or something, the pivot, the weave, that's the word. He says, the weave. He did the weave. And yeah, astrology for February for Trump is not good. And if I think about the past week, last week he was in Greenland. Now, he had the Alex Preddy murder, and his response was just so miscalculated. He's on the back foot. He's not able to go distract over here. A bunch of people are asking him to do something, and narcissists, they're really good at theatrics of like, oh, I'm gonna, trick you over here and trick you over here, and you're gonna be on the back foot. You're gonna be responding to things I'm doing. But it's the opposite now. He is on the back foot. He's having to respond to other people because of his, I don't know, the competence of his administration. I'm curious, like how is Trump feeling, or do you want to pull cards for February as a whole, and we can get into that later when I go into February's energies.
Yeah, let's go through like the by week.
Okay.
And
We'll go to
when we
February.
get to a part where you're like, this is the week I was thinking about his health,
Sure. We'll go into it. Okay.
we'll draw then. I think that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that makes sense. So I'll get into February's energies, folks, and then we'll do the tarot
Yeah.
with it. So you can pull, because folks, please stay on for Deb's weekly tarot pull for the upcoming month. I've been with her since April of last year, and she's been accurate like across. So this is something that will be really great for you to kind of just get a sense of what that collective narrative will be in terms of February's energy. So let me go ahead and share in terms of February's predictions. Sorry.
And I'm so grateful for, Spirit coming through to help us prepare for the month and have an idea. So I'm grateful as well to have that information.
Yeah, we have all these tools that can we have tarot, we have psychic hits, our intuition, just to
All the
help guide
things
us during
to help us
these.
through this time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, I'll just do a wee bit infomercial. I don't have a channel, but I do have a newsletter. Pull out your phone, use your camera feature. You'll scan this. You'll be added to my newsletter. I offer a signature reading called the 2025-2026 Paradigm Shift. It's, if you're someone who experienced big changes in the past year, I can use astrology to explain what is happening, but more importantly, what will happen next. And then I have a calendar. So, and the new orders for calendar will now include January 2027. So all that link will be below in the bio for you to book that or email me, and I can help you there. So moving into February, I'll just give a shorter overview, and then we'll get into your cards, Deb. There are two themes that are happening in February. The first theme is this great cosmic reset, is kind of how I would describe it. There's this moment where the future sort of reaches its hand to us now and says, hey, don't worry, this is kind of where we're moving towards. Like, yes, you're in the chaos, yes, you're in, it's kind of hard to see where you're going, but the future kind of reaches its hand and just guides us a bit. And so there's going to be this future hopeful kind of humanitarian focus that kind of starts to emerge in February. We've got a couple astrological events that are supporting that. There's a beautiful moment with Neptune conjunct Saturn that I'll talk about. And both lunar events are going to be supporting of more of a heart opening of sorts that will start to emerge. So February is not going to be a month where things are solved. I just want folks to be aware of it. This is a period where we're kind of in the storm. We've got, hail coming at us and wind, and, it's really dark clouds. But there's one point in the clouds where it kind of parts, and you can kind of see blue sky there, and you can see a bit of the sun, but we're still in the storm of things. It's not like we're out of it. But that small parting allows us to have a sense of how to anchor ourselves and where we're moving towards. It kind of gives a bit of a North Star and grounding in the chaos. So I'll explain that, but that's going to be something that's going to happen for February. And then another thing that just to keep in the back of your mind in February is a lot of planets. We've got Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and Mars are all going to take their turn in terms of, this is like, I was saying this is the wrong spot. Here we go. All of them are going to take their turn in terms of squaring Uranus in Taurus. And they're going to do it individually. And Uranus and Taurus represents our material reality, whether it's like the stock market, money, also the physical environment, like natural disasters, like earth, agriculture. And so there's going to be a friction that's going to happen with our material reality. So I would say in February in particular, we would see the stock market go up and down a bit more. Maybe prices fluctuate at the grocery store, or it could be natural disasters. Just keep that in mind because they're going to each take their turn butting their heads with Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus is in Taurus in one of the later degrees, and so this is something that we're almost out of the orbit of, not having this lesson anymore. So just keep that in mind in terms of those are the kind of the two themes of February. So when we move into February, there's a lot of events. This is not an exhaustive list, but this is the ones that I think that are important. But within it, these are the events I want folks to keep in mind. And in particular, the most important event is going to be Neptune conjunct Saturn in Aries, 0 degree on the 20th. And this is really, really important. It's like the top event. I'll kind of explain it more, but that's something I really want you to be aware of energetically. A couple days before, you should really feel a shift in terms of energies. And then a couple days before, we have our first eclipse season. So this week in particular, folks, will be very potent. This could be a period just to ground. Maybe you want to avoid the news, or you do want to avoid the news, or join our YouTube community where we can help you process the news when these events occur. Because when we go to eclipse season, that is a cosmic redirect. That is like your ping pong ball moment where your life was heading this way, and then the universe goes, oh, it's time now for you to go this way. And so when we have eclipse season, you kind of have to surrender control. This is not a point where you have to grip the wheel and says, no, I'm not going that way. You're like, no, you are literally, it's just timing. That's what eclipse season is. It's every 6 months, and it goes, hey, we need you to go this way now because it's going to reorganize the energies that just occurred in the past 6 months. And so I'm curious, Deb, too, if you want to pull cards, I'm curious about pulling cards on Trump's health.
Did you see me pick up my cards before you even said that?
Oh, no. What did you have?
I just picked up my cards.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. So funny. You must be psychic. But do you want to pull cards on this Neptune conjunct Saturn? And while you do that, I'm going to explain it to everybody, like what this event is. So
I am just so interested too, because what I got for week 3. And when you started talking about that, that's why I'm like, oh my gosh. It
matches? Oh my, okay. I love it when that all happens. So folks, I really want you to step into the energies of this great cosmic event. And in astrology world, we have rare, unique events all the time. But this one is a big deal. This one's a very big deal. It's possibly one of the top 3 events of 2026. And what this is we're going to have transiting Neptune will conjunct transiting Saturn at 0 degrees of Aries. And what that means is we're having the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. And this is a period where it's kind of like the Big Bang Theory, like when the first living cell was created on Earth, the first man. There's something about, or human, sorry, I don't want to be gendered, but there's something about this. It's like the spark of the spark of the spark. Like this is the first atom type of energy. And so let me unpack it so folks can really get a sense of it. So Neptune as a planet is very like, melting boundaries, very dreamy, very intuitive. It can be very visionary, but it can be also delusional. I think a character on TV that really embodies that Neptune energy is Phoebe Buffay off of Friends, where she can kind of see more possibilities. She's not really defined in a box. She's like, okay, that might work as well. So that's Neptune's energies. And then it actually moves into Aries this week. And when Neptune is into Aries, it is like dreamy action. It is like righteous warrior. It's kind of like good trouble. The congressman, I can't remember his name right now. John, oh my goodness. Anyway, there's a congressman that coined the term good trouble. Let me see if I can Google it because I feel John Lewis. He passed. And so it's very nice for Neptune. I mean, it's nice for the collective, for Neptune go into Aries because of that visionariness of how to fight, more humanitarian focus, more aligned on the right side of history. And then we have Saturn. And Saturn is very pragmatic, taskmaster, measure twice, cut once. And when Saturn moves into Aries, it's more disciplined warrior. It's more like long-term fight. It's more long-term vision. Aries is also entrepreneurial, starting new things, but it wants you to be more karmically aligned. And when both Neptune and Saturn are together in Aries, there's like a dialogue that happens with both these planets, where Saturn looks at Neptune and says, okay, Neptune, you have all these fantastical ideas and dreams. Phoebe, pick one and I'll make a plan. We'll make it, we'll have a 2-year plan. And so these both planets together are very future focused, very visionary. Like let's really dream, big in terms of what things can be. So that's already one dynamic. And they both are at Aries. And Aries is the start of the zodiac wheel. So that's kind of where life and where, energy starts. And it's also 0-degree Aries. And so, folks, this conjunction will not happen again until 5,060 years from now. And we don't have records, actually, from what I've researched. We don't have records when it happened last. I think the estimates are 6,000 or 10,000 years ago. And so, folks, you want to be aware of where Aries is in your chart. Like, is it in your first house, your second house, your third house? So just look, put your information into a calendar or astrology calendar and just see, astrology chart and see what happens. But for Deb, you and I, Aries is our 7th house of partnership. Romantic partners, business partners, BFFs. And when we have this beginning of the beginning of the beginning, the new start, this means we get to shake off our childhood dynamics. It means we get to shake off our ancestral dynamics. And it means we get to shake off our past life dynamics. We are not beholden to the past here. We are really allowed to step into new energies. And so, folks, this is really powerful in terms of both Aries, very action-oriented, very entrepreneurial, of a new movement sort of emerging within us. And so that's going to happen for the collective. And so we might not be out of the chaos of the current every day, but folks, something really new seeds and takes planet. This is kind of like when Superman arrives on Earth, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's like a whole new person that could do all these superpowers and stuff, and how it could shift humanity for that's kind of like that. Something really cool starts to seed, and you get to turn the page and start new things. And so that is the energies of that cosmic reset. Deb, did you pull cards, or did you want to read on this further?
I did pull cards for that, and it kind of backs a little bit what I was seeing as well. But we're seeing a huge shift in support for. It took me straight to that 40 to Donald Trump. We're seeing a shift in people standing up and saying no more. And I think we're going to be shocked on who it was. I was trying to see who's doing this, but I feel like it's somebody, it's significant. It's someone in the circle.
His circle.
His circle it's kind of walking away. They're standing up in defiance. They're like, okay, enough is enough. They're walking away from his circle. Here he is. And you said like massively new beginnings.
Very new beginnings.
We move into this.
That's the card, because Aries is fire.
Okay, wow. Yeah, we're moving into that Ace of Wands feeling, and so I feel like bringing that new inspiration, a new direction, and it leaves others in this difficult place because of whoever this is who's like, all right, I can't any longer, and kind of stands up in defiance towards the regime. It puts the rest of the gang, the rest of the regime in this position.
Interesting.
To have to make some choices.
I have a feeling that person is not Stephen Miller.
Yeah, no, he's in it to win it.
He's exactly. That's very interesting.
Yeah, not him. He loves this
Yeah, he's
horrid.
attached. He's like a little barnacle. He's attached to Trump
Yeah.
to the end. Did you know he had a high school reunion or high school graduate or did you see, sorry, his high school graduation video?
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh, you did see it? Okay, yeah. Folks, if you've not seen Stephen Miller's high school graduation video, I don't know if he was valedictorian or he somehow gave a speech or something like that, but he basically told the class, like, it's okay for janitors to pick up like, it's okay for you to drop the trash wherever because the janitors will pick it up. They're not supposed to ask us to pick up the trash. It's like, and
I
he's
mean,
in, I was in California. So he's from our state. So
yeah, he has this unique, horrid
perspective. Yeah. Rooted very
perspective
early.
on life.
Very
Yeah,
early.
and very early, like you said, and he gets off on people's
Yeah,
pain.
he's a sadist. He really gets off on other side the hierarchical, "I'm on top, you're on bottom" type of energy. I'm
Yeah.
curious if it's maybe like Susan Wiles or like Marco Rubio or something, or maybe it's someone we won't even see, like, in terms of, like, wanting to be out of the circle.
I don't know.
Mhm,
It feels like it would be very well, it might not be public. It might be
mhm,
something behind the scenes where like,
mhm,
"Okay, I've had
mhm.
it." Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
be but anyways, yeah.
Well, that's good to get validation on this on the cosmic yeah, that matches exactly what we're seeing, and then let me see if I can you push the button on sharing the screen? It's not able to perfect. So after that, a couple days before another event, happens, which is the solar eclipse in Aquarius, and a solar eclipse is like a new moon to the 10th power. So it's like a new moon to a new moon to a new moon, and new moons are about beginnings. So when it comes to orienting to lunar events, a new moon is where you go to the grocery store and buy different types of foods. It's kind of like you go to a clothing store and buy different clothes. This is the new you that you want to seed. A full moon is more where you get rid of the fridge, the food in your fridge, or you get rid of clothes you don't wear. That's kind of the shedding that occurs. But a new moon, and in particular, a solar eclipse, is a lot of new beginnings, new seeds, a future outlook. So again, we're having another event that really talks about how the future is reaching its hand out towards you now and saying, "Hey, come this way." And it's in Aquarius. Aquarius is very humanitarian focused. It's about community, authentic community, really, but good about individual self-expression, innovative, and this is going to be a really powerful event because at the same time, it is actually squaring that Uranus in Taurus, which I talked about earlier, the material reality, natural disaster. So there could be some tension that occurs there, but at the same time, something really nice happens which is Mercury in Pisces, very, very happy, Mercury in Pisces, um, is trining Jupiter in Cancer, very happy as well. And so there's something about like the veil could be thinner, our compassion could be, be more a compass. We're more heart centered during this time. Very intuitive though, we're very spiritually aligned. And so with this event, a lot of this new moon is planting the seed for the next 6 months. And this one is really asking us to be more, caring for our neighbor, or are we moving to a future that is sustainable, that's kind, that isn't like we're gonna have to regret how we've behaved, or or notice lives lost in terms of the next 6 months. So, folks, we're having two events. We're having this great cosmic reset, and then we're also that's very future minded, but the solar eclipse is very heart opening. This is where you feel connected. This is where you really care. Sometimes I can hear the news and I'm like, how do people not care? Like, how do,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a point where you're going to feel people care. You're going to feel like maybe when you go to the coffee shop that you normally go to, that people in the line just care a bit more. Or when you talk to your family members, there's just something where we're leading with our heart right now. And we're going to be leading with our heart for the next 6 months. And again, of course, it makes sense. It would naturally square the material reality because that is on conflict. If you lead with your heart, you have to let go of the 3D. You have to let go of the gaming and the maximizing and acquiring as much material wealth as possible because the heart doesn't understand that type of value system. So
Mhm.
that's another event that's going to occur. And again, these are happening a couple days apart. I would imagine the news would be very it could be triggering a bit with that time, but also we might see people coming out and protesting or doing really creative things like making music. A lot of protest songs happening right now. So there could
Mhm.
be something like that emerging. And then this is not good for Trump. And I'm curious for you. Well, actually, I'll wait till the end when you pull cards. This full moon, look at the moon, the so this eclipse, this new moon, the moon and sun conjunct 29 or 28 degrees, and that's opposite Trump's Mars. And Mars is this planet of like vitality, of energy. It's like what you're willing to fight. It's like you at the gym working, for 3 hours, or you
Mhm.
running a marathon, or the mom that lifts the car off the kid. That's that
Yes.
that type of energy. And that's opposing. So he can't fight. He doesn't have energy. He doesn't have vitality. And this is also Mars in his first house as self. And self often rules like who he is as a person and the body. So very, very likely this is a health event for Trump. This is him being tired. If it's not a health event, it could be him fighting with his team and him not winning, him kind of being confined, like his hand being
Mhm.
slapped, and he really can't, someone taking his Truth Social away from him, and he's really having to follow someone else's rules. I don't think so, actually. I do think this is a health event. And when we talked about 2026 astrology last show, we said that the first part of 2026 has a health event, and the second part, he has other things that's on his menu. But I would say there's something on this week really constraining his health. You might not even see him that much that week. So just keep that in mind, folks, as you're watching the news. And then I won't go into this, but we have our full moon in Leo, February 1st. Folks, feel free to pause this so you can read all of this. But there's going to be a potential fall of a leader, either worldwide or some sort of leader having to step back in a different ways. And so feel free to pause the video here if you want to read all of this. But I just want to, say at a high level, and this is not good for Trump because this is actually opposing his Pluto in his first house of self. So again, he's having two events back to back where his hand is being slapped, and he's having to take a step back. He's not able to be his full glory, distract,
Mhm.
deflect, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of like, he was very pompous with the Greenland things. And then, they retaliated by, through the stock market, by saying, okay, well, we're going to sell bonds. And then he really took a step back and we don't hear him talking about Greenland anymore. It's like that
Mhm.
kind of energy, him taking a step back and being quiet
Well,
for
you saw this picture, right, of him?
No, what is that from?
This is a recent picture, in one of his meetings. But you
And what does
guys,
it say? Someone had to
uh,
remind him what day it is?
he looks like he's waiting. No, it just says it looks like he's waiting in a nursing home. They were just,
I know. No, even the Iowa
but
thing. Yeah.
but
I
you can
know. Yeah, he's
see the
tired.
shoulder pads and everything. It's
Yeah.
very much what you see in a
Yeah.
nursing home
Yeah.
for those dementia patients, his eyes,
I know.
his leaning down. So,
And I think they're actually giving him uppers when he has those moments to help him, but I think those uppers are creating long-term damage. So, it's an interesting
yeah.
immediate gratification. So, what do you get, Deb, in terms of the tarot card for the week, or if you're pulling on Trump's health as well? What do you see?
Okay, all right, so when we get to that week, we'll on the
And there's
20th,
4
whatever,
weeks in February, so it's actually the first week is the 1st to the 7th, so it actually matches pretty easily in terms of all of that.
yeah, so that did. So, yeah, so the first week, um, we're looking at the 7 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles,
Mm,
and, so I think I might have to here,
7 of
uh,
Cups, 3 of Pentacles. No, I think the other way
yeah,
was right.
I have to cover the naked lady.
Oh, okay. YouTube jail, yes.
Yeah, all right. So, even though it goes the 7 of Cups and
Yeah,
but
yeah,
anyway,
that was
we'll
first.
do it this way so you guys can see. And, it it really it's talking about that, the illusions, the confusion, all that kinda playing out here, um, and a ton of narratives trying to compete, and
Mhm,
we're already living that right now, and, but you're gonna see more of that first week.
Okay.
narratives, people trying to
Misdirect.
misdirect, mixed messages, emotional manipulation, more of that happening. But when you're pairing that with the Three of Pentacles there, something is happening important underneath you guys for us.
Mm.
So I do feel that behind closed doors, we're seeing some quiet collaborating.
That's what I thought too,
People are
collaborations.
people are building something behind the closed doors, and it's so interesting because when I was sitting here and I was listening to you, Ness,
Mhm.
I was wondering what's happening behind closed doors. Where
Mhm.
are our leaders? What, I know a lot of us sit here and go, they're just sitting there doing nothing. We're
No, but
tired of,
you're right. When
but some
Obama
people,
Obama released a statement with about Alex Petty, and then, Clinton did it an hour later, so it's obviously,
yeah,
they're coordinating. Yeah, yeah.
they are. And so
And
the
even
cracks are,
Hollywood, there's the Sundance Film Festival this past, weekend or week, it's actually where we're still in it, and a lot of
mhm,
Hollywood actors and actresses started speaking out, about what was happening as well, so yeah.
exactly. So it's all about discernment this week. What's actually true? Who's doing
Mhm,
the work? Just know and hold space for some of these people who actually can do stuff behind the scenes.
okay.
It's happening. Okay.
And the
Then we
other
go
one's
move in.
February 8th to the 14th.
Right. So the next week we
Ooh.
have the 8 of Wands and then the Hanged Man or
Oh,
Hanged
such
One or whatever.
interesting energies.
I know. Um, so we're going to see something. Obviously, the 8 of Wands represents rapid movement or whatever. But I feel like a lot of news moving fast, and I feel like we're going to see some events,
Mm.
uh, uh, like things happening all at once, like a lot
Mhm,
happening all at
mhm,
once.
mhm. It's kinda
Uh,
overwhelming.
yeah, a little bit overwhelming that week.
You know what? The Eight of Wands with the Hangman makes me also think of government shutdown.
Oh, hmm,
That could be because I think we potentially
yeah,
could be in a government
they're trying
shutdown
to do
February
that. Yeah.
1st, and that actually could match your 7 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles. That could be just the
Mhm,
conversation of government shutdown again.
mhm, mhm. Okay, so moving into the Hangman. So yeah, a pause. You're right.
Yeah,
A stall.
the stall.
Mhm. And so I think what Spirit is asking us to do is kind of allow this to take place because there's meaning behind it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, there's a deeper meaning. There's something happening behind the scenes that deeper meaning with a shutdown.
yeah.
They're gonna do. I think it's it feels positive,
It's
even
like
though
it's gonna be
it's
different than what happened in November.
yeah, yes,
Okay. You know, it's interesting too, your 8 of Wands with the Hangman actually matches that description you had earlier about the frog in the pot. Like, when you
yeah,
move too fast, people will say, "No, stop," like, kind of thing. So,
exactly.
yeah,
That feels right too.
yeah.
Anyway, so that looks like week 2,
Mhm. And then the
and
week
then
3 is February 15th to the 21st.
okay, so here's our big week, right?
Yes, yes.
We have Temperance and the 8 of Cups coming in. So we're seeing a huge uh,
Sure.
emotional
Yeah,
change, like a tone change.
yeah.
Um, and it's not only just change, but uh, the tone, the
Mm,
vibration. There's a huge change that shifts for us on that week 3. So the temperance is always about bringing that balance and regulation and integration and all that. Um, but I also see for our nervous system, we've taken a big hit. Our nervous
mhm,
system has been taking a big hit right after another,
mhm,
right after another.
mhm, Mhm.
right after another. So I feel like this is a calming for
Mm.
us. Whatever happens, yeah, there's going to be a little bit more presence, a little more balance. So that feels good.
Yeah.
But you have it paired with the 8, and that's a power shift or
Mhm, mhm.
power
It
shift.
is a powerful number.
Um, and uh,
It's funny because cups are also very water, very emotional,
yeah,
and so and we also had 8 of wands the previous week too, so it's like a
yeah.
different version. It's that heart opening. It's a heart
And
opening,
this is
compassion.
yeah, yeah, and disengaging from this is a disengagement to what doesn't align anymore. So you're going to
Yeah.
see a lot of people who are still really following this regime, and
Mhm,
they're all
mhm,
about it. Even more of a disengagement,
mhm, mhm. Interesting.
um, which usually leading up to that type of disengagement, something horrible has happened,
I
unfortunately.
would be surprised if maybe during that week or right after that week, Trump gets poll numbers that he lost, more of his MAGA base, or something happened where he independent voters are walking away from him more. Like, I wonder if there's something about people walking away from him in particular.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel big time, big time. I
Yeah.
feel like this is more of that moving away and like, whoa, okay.
Mhm, mhm,
But it goes along with that, and then moving into that Ace of Wands we got on the reading
mhm,
that we
mhm.
did for the 20th. But yeah, so that's a big week.
Yeah.
That's a big week for us. It really is going to move us into the next week. Um, and I know you talked a little bit about. I know we're having some correction in our money
Material
system, but
world? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, they're both
um,
upside down?
yeah, they both came in reverse for that 4th week, guys, and this is a massive release,
Okay.
and it shows this. It tells us that like the control that this regime has on us is
Mhm,
slipping.
mhm.
So what's been held tightly, what they thought they had control of,
Yeah, it's out of the bag. Yeah.
it no longer. It's it's like when the regime finally realizes, and Project 2025 and all those people are
Mhm,
finally realizing, okay,
mhm,
we
mhm,
we're losing the control, we're losing the power, people
mhm, mhm.
and people. So that's good. Because
Instability in
they're not only
funders,
they're losing
donors.
the power over the people, the narratives aren't working anymore, the spins aren't working anymore,
Yeah.
all the things, it's slipping right out of their hands.
It could also be that oligarchy energy too with the 10 of Pentacles. The oligarchy energy is walking away
Yeah,
because when, Alex Preddy was shot, there was later that day was, a film screening at the White House about Melania's new film, and a lot of tech giants were there, and people are really upset that the tech giants were at, Trump's film screening and being very sycophantic as opposed to pushing statements about Alex Preddy, just and so people were thinking about boycotting the bigger
yeah,
companies and
yeah,
also asking the businesses of Minnesota to start doing stuff. And so there's a
yes,
whole push possibly for the oligarchs to, because that's how it worked with Jimmy Kimmel. Like it was through the money, the purse.
right. And so I feel like, because they already did one of those walkouts and it worked.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe they're gonna call for the whole nation to do something like that
Yeah.
and, to push against the oligarchy.
Yeah.
And that, you know, I do feel like that. So that this combination you're seeing like that all those base structures that have been
Mhm.
in place for hundreds of years now,
Mhm.
you're gonna start seeing collapse,
Okay.
the collapse.
Okay.
This is the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's interesting
it's
because
they're gonna see how unstable, right? their control is this week, that week 4.
Yeah, that kind of
So, looking at, I did pull clarifiers. So
Ooh,
I wanted to
yeah,
do an overall clarify like message for us for the whole month.
yeah,
Because I'm like, whoa, this is a lot again, as we prepare for the month. And Spirit gave me the Temperance card again, but also the Ace of Swords.
Oh, wow.
And
Very
I it's funny because I wasn't intending to pull, but all of a sudden I'm like, I need to pull like an overall energy clarifier
yeah,
for the month.
yeah,
And I was shuffling in the Ace of Swords and it literally flew out. I couldn't even ignore it. It wasn't even a
yeah,
normal fly out. It was like
yeah,
someone grabbed it and pulled it out for me.
yeah,
So that's we know what that means. That's undeniable truth.
yeah.
It's information cutting through the bullshit
Mhm,
and
mhm,
confusion and
mhm,
uh, like all the lies that have been said
mhm,
it's losing it. They're losing. The lies are losing.
mhm, mhm.
And there's conversations that can't be avoided any longer. So I
Yeah.
feel like, you're hit on the health issue
Yeah,
with 45. I feel like you can't you can't
you
ignore
can't
this
look
any
away.
longer.
Yeah, like the
I mean,
photo you just shared of just
you
Trump,
can't
like, yeah.
ignore that
Or
picture.
the
I
photo when
mean,
I think someone passed out behind Trump and he just stood there. He's just like
yeah, he's like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that's someone who's very confused.
yeah.
So the temperance is really helping us with that truth and the balance with that, of course, and all that. So I feel like a lot of the unseen stuff also
Got it. So your
comes in.
reading with the Temperance of the Ace of Swords is February is bringing more into balance information, bringing more balance into clarity about things. It's not solving anything, but it's actually creating some illumination in terms of how to create
But
balance. Yeah.
and when you do have the Ace of Swords, that's always a new something
Yes.
new that can be come out of this,
Yeah.
right?
Some
So,
clarity. So
um,
interesting.
but I
Okay. Do
like
you
that it really talks about that those conversations that can't be avoided any
Mhm,
longer. That's a
mhm.
huge deal.
Starting to have those
Coming
conversations.
through here.
Do you want to pull a couple cards on just Trump's, either Trump's February or Trump's health? Because I'm looking at that, eclipse event that's happening February 17th. It really does feel like it's a health thing, and I wouldn't be surprised, folks, if we don't see Trump between February 17th and February 20th.
Okay.
And this is a new moon eclipse, so this is a health event that's gonna likely, color his next 6 months. So there's something that
Mhm.
he happens on the February 17th, and then he has to basically triage and reset and just, address it for the next 6 months. So that could be another stroke because it's very clear he had a stroke last fall, which a lot of the psychics kept picking up, Trump might leave in the fall or, like, he's about and I think they were picking up on that stroke, that was mitigated. But what are the cards saying about Trump's February?
Yeah. Yeah. So not looking great. You have something that it really it does come in. It's overwhelming, and I mean I don't even have to speak, you guys. You're gonna see this and go, okay.
Okay, this is oh. Oh. Oh, that's a heart. Heart could be a heart issue.
Yeah.
Unbalanced too, it could be an inner ear
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah. And
Wow. Oh
then you
my
have this. So these cards specific, it does
wow.
talk to the circular system, but also that frontal lobe
The inner ears too, the 2
dementia and the inner
pentacles.
ear stuff and his balance stuff and all the things that he has already that is so obvious is going to be even more. It's almost like something hits him. I don't know if it's like this is the first card in, and so this is something that hits quickly.
Okay. Yeah, like he could fall. He could have had a fall in the tub or something.
Something
Um,
something that hits quick. Yeah, and
oh my god, folks, there I don't wanna overpromise
yeah.
folks, but there is a chance. We might have Trump exiting in February.
I
I
did
hope this
before
year.
throwing the cards, I did, something came in as far
Okay.
as, the 25th
Mhm.
Amendment. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, the 25th Amendment is when the, cabinet votes to remove him.
Yeah, 25th Amendment. It
Yeah.
it dropped in that they may be looking at that 25th Amendment,
Okay.
whatever this
Interesting.
is. Like, more readily.
Okay.
Um, I was just looking at the cards for the month. I wonder if that yeah. Mm.
That Temperance and Ace of Swords could be that, the
Could
balance.
be. Oh, bringing
Um,
something new to hold over. The thing is,
mm,
um, because no one wants JD Vance in there either, so
mm.
what's the it's like keep the enemy that you know or put in the other
But I
it's
mean,
gonna be
it's very clear Trump's health is waning, so if it's not this month, what's to say a year from now? And so they know JD Vance is has to be the heir apparent, that's how it works. And so, um, and then also Usha just had came out pregnant, like she's about to expect a child in July. So that's already like, you know, if I were a scheming family, that would be a really convenient thing to have a young child and being a president. It gets that Kennedy vibes, like in terms of that era. So I could see them making that as a positioning
yeah,
optic.
that felt very optics to me.
Optics, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it felt very forced upon Usha to me.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't think she wanted to have more children,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying she was forced.
No, no, no,
Don't
it's like
don't get
it's
me
more
wrong
like
there.
a
I'm
yeah,
just saying
yeah, yeah.
this
If
you
she had an
have to be
option, like, if to really not do it versus the team she's part of,
right,
yeah,
or
yeah,
you gotta take one for the team type of thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. It was forced.
And that could also potentially, if she gets a lot of this racism from MAGA, if she's holding a child, that could soften them, in
Well,
terms of
apparently not because they could give a
oh, I mean,
flying
yeah, I know, you're right.
fig
I'm being so generous with
with
them.
what they're doing with the kids right now, so
I know, with the ice. Okay. Well, folks, that is our February forecast for both with the tarot as well as the astrology. And I guess we can end on a game.
yeah, we're gonna do the game.
Okay. So, folks, if you're
Okay.
not familiar with this, at the end we play an intuitive game. I will pull a tarot card. Deb will pull a tarot card. Just a standard kind of a traditional tarot deck type of thing. And we're going to hold it up for you to focus on it. And we want you to pause the video when we do, take a moment, breathe in, intuit what you think the cards are, and then go ahead and hit play because then we will turn over and reveal the card. Oh, I just got a hit about what my card might be. That's so strange. Okay. I'm writing it down just in case I'm right. I haven't looked at mine yet.
It's funny because I also asked my team, I'm like, Give me a card that, also gives us a little secret message that of something that we
Ooh,
can hold on to." You know what I
okay.
mean?
Very interesting. Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't mind taking this as a message. Go here. So folks, just focus on either card. Feel free to pause the video. You wanna notice any colors you see, any impressions. Just notice what comes in. You might even ground, take a deep breath in, ask your
Okay.
guides, ask your team. And then
And don't forget to put in, what you got. That's always fun to see and
yes, we
how
love
you're
to see
seeing,
them.
even if it's just a color. "Oh, I got a lot of whatever color," and like
Mhm.
that. Okay. Do you wanna show your card
Yeah,
first?
okay. I actually like mine. I had 3 of
Oh,
cups.
nice.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be 8 of swords or 9 of swords, and so it's, like, very hopeful. Which
Yes. Love
matches
that.
this, solar eclipse in
Yeah.
Aquarius, humanitarian, people coming together, very, very good. Yeah.
And I think mine matches too. I don't
Oh my god, both cups?
Again, you know how many times I've gotten the 8 of cups?
Yeah.
today
Yeah,
for
you
this whole
can't.
month, but
Oh my
I asked
god.
for something that we could hold on to hope for.
You know what, Deb? If this is the month that Trump has a health event and exits, I will send you a cake, okay? I'm like,
Yay!
I'll send you a cake.
I love cake.
I will send you, like, a gold belly cake. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine this would all be over? Like
Well, I don't know about over, but it would be
but yeah,
it
like a
would be a
different
direction in the right direction.
yeah, a pivot. That would be great. But
Well, we
folks,
love you,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, there could be other interpretations. He could just have, a health event for a couple weeks and then we're back here. So just, we gotta, divinating has its variants. So yeah, well, thank you, Deb, for having me and kind of talking about February's energies. This was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I love hanging out with you.
And we both had
And
our pink for February, folks. Galentine's and Valentine's Day, or
I had to.
Bridgerton. That's going to be this week. Yeah,
Oh, is it coming on?
yeah, it's coming on tomorrow.
Okay,
So
good, good,
Bridgerton,
good.
I
Okay.
know, I love Bridgerton. It's like a modern day Jane Austen. So
Oh,
yeah,
I love Bridgerton too. But yeah, so I had to dig for my pink. So, but yeah, February.
February.
All right, you guys, we love you and we'll see you all next time. Thank you for the comments and the shares and all the things that you do. And please check out astrologynesss at gmail.com. And she has her beautiful newsletter that she sends
Yeah.
out. And so you would get on an email
Yes.
list with her. So that'd be awesome. And book.
Book, and then also Deb has our classes. So go to her
Yes,
website.
classes are up, you guys.
Yes.
Classes. We have classes. Go to kevinlewismedium.com
Yep.
and sign up for our classes. All right.
Very good
Love you
class.
guys.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. Boop.